All right, so I want to talk about two pieces that I composed in the last 2 years. One of them is a piece for wind band that actually just got premiered. It was my last piece of music that premiered before shutdown happened on March 8th. And then also another chamber piece from last fall, and kind of just give you an experience of what it's been like to compose in an ensemble, with an ensemble, and help lead it and direct it and kind of see where things go, and how that has affected my work as a composer going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and share. There we go. Okay, so I've tried to teach myself more instruments than just the flute. That's something I've really been working hard on for about only 6 or 7 years now. But I've learned to play guitar and piano, and also taught band for 4 years prior to starting music school, which is kind of funny. But I got a lot of experience just kind of teaching myself to play trumpet, clarinet, flute, just various band instruments, and some on strings. Really just enough to kind of get younger students going. But those are kind of the things I'm sticking with for now. So this is the ensemble that I've been a part of for the last 2.5 years or so. I did my undergrad in composition at Berklee College of Music, and they were just starting to merge with Boston Conservatory right when I was there. So it created an atmosphere that was pretty good for collaboration, because I was able to meet people from the conservatory through my classes at Berklee. So through various school opportunities with performances, I just met some of these folks in class and said, hey, I've got this, comp department recital coming up. I'm going to write a piece, would you like to sing it, or would you like to play it? And it basically just went from there. And after that, I kept on following up with people, and we kept on doing more performances. And then I started my master's program at Tufts. And you can see there's one picture there in the bottom left where we're there in the hall. Just a great place to kind of come and have little moments where we can work together and work on our professional presentation, our music, and to kind of see and hear my music develop through actual people. I mean, that's the way it happens no matter what, unless I guess you're dealing with electronics or whatever else in the experimental realm. But it's been a very healthy and beneficial scenario for me, and to help me grow as a composer, to watch right in front of me with people what does and doesn't work. And it's been very inspiring too, to kind of see like the picture there for my poster for my thesis concert, which did not happen because it was scheduled in May. And, we were going to do a whole big recital. We were going to do another presentation of my wind band piece, but it didn't happen. So it's neat to see, though, nonetheless, the progression, because in the very beginning, it's not like any of these people said, hey, Bo, why don't you start an ensemble and then we'll all join it and we'll all make all this music and it's all going to work out exactly like this. It just didn't. It just was talking to one person and made a friend through an ensemble, and then made another friend there. And then we just keep on moving it forward. And it's really special to see musicians begin to connect with each other, and kind of like our last presenter from last week was saying, I'm sorry, her name escapes me, but she talked about how inspiring it is as a composer to see other people growing and creating as a result of things that you have created. So that's been a very gratifying aspect to trying to lead an ensemble, is to watch other people grow. And it doesn't have, it doesn't mean that my music has to be brilliant or perfect or whatever. It just means that I'm kind of able to bring together an atmosphere where people can feel comfortable and excited to make music together. So for whatever it's worth. And I've got my links down there. I'm going to show 2 clips of my music today. But if someone could post it into the chat, Eliza, if you wouldn't mind, you guys can follow afterwards and check out the full pieces if you like. So we'll jump into the first piece here. I got really, and also Adam or Eliza, if you wouldn't mind, like maybe give me a signal of like 5 minutes before I need to cut off if I get going too long. Thank you. I got really into, as you can see, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and the artwork and the mythology of ancient Egypt, and kind of just went on this long stretch of time where I was just immersed in that text and learning about the symbols of their hieroglyphics, and what was going on with all of this, because it was a whole lot of new things to take in. So anyway, long story short, after about a year or 2 of using this text and this art as source material, I began to kind of formulate it into my own drama, where there are these 2 goddesses here who are essentially, in my point of view, responsible for like the weight of the world. And that is kind of portrayed through the sun here, or Ra right there. But there's an equality to the 2 of them. There's a symmetry and a balance to who they are, but they're also different slightly. So it's nice because I like playing with that dichotomy of like equal and the same, but also unique and special and kind of powerful in your own way. So after 2 years of working with 2 exceptionally talented soprano vocalists, this is sort of a mythological way I'm kind of trying to put together a piece of music with a relatable text. So because we couldn't do it with 2 sopranos, because of scheduling conflicts, for the first premiere, which I was very lucky to have happen, right? It was literally a week before. You just weren't allowed to be in the same room as someone else. So to hear a piece with 50 wind instruments right before all that happened, I can't express how grateful I am for that to have been pulled off. So the words here, it's like I said, from one of the individual singers' perspective of the weight of the world and the relentlessness of the burning hot sun, making you go through every day, and you got to keep working no matter what because the world isn't stopping. And she's kind of mad about it because she's like, I just want to live a normal life and experience pleasure and enjoy everything. But instead, I'm having to bear the burden of, the suffering of people. And I'm just having trouble finding contentment and happiness here. So like the band is almost this representation of Ra, or that force that's constantly putting pressure against her and saying like, you've got to respond to what we're doing. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we take a second? I'm going to stop share and then share again. so that we can listen to some of the piece. Okay, this, like I said, last March 8th, I got the pleasure of getting to conduct the piece. And this is the Tufts Wind Band with Jillian Corelli, soprano. So, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I learned an incredible amount out of that experience. And there's about 17 minutes more music before that, where some good things happen and some not so good things happen. I think one of the most beneficial things I learned was that to present a piece to a large ensemble like that, it's really important to have everything pretty well worked out beforehand, because I was rushing to write a whole bunch of music right up to the last second. And, you know, it put some heavy strain on the rehearsal. But, you know, I was working as hard as I could at it, and I wanted to achieve the most I could. And I think I maybe wrote 15 minutes of music before that to finally get me to a place where I was understanding better. And I was doing better things, like putting the singer's emphasized attack and at the end of her resolution on a downbeat, and then the band's answer on the following beat, you know, things like that. Like can't stop, and then the band hits right after that, you know. Those are really valuable techniques, because if I've got her singing constantly with them, the balance is going to be very challenging. And I basically, regardless, need to keep the voice at about C in the middle of the treble clef or above, in order to project even over some of the lower instruments playing, you know, piano. It's so it's tricky, you know. Yeah, but I'm glad that there's places where I feel like the singer was able to really go up there and use the energy of the band to kind of push those vocals and figure out a way for the band and the vocal to interact. So I was excited to get that piece done, and I'll be looking forward to kind of working on it more and hopefully get a chance to do it again someday. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. This is my first, I guess, real Zoom presentation. So